Alright, so we have our video trapezoid mid-segment there. So we're going to look at all these. It doesn't matter if they're isosceles or not. Your parallel lines are what we're focused on. So if we're dealing with mid-segment, you're going to have 3 parallel lines. And here's a base. The one through the middle is the mid-segment. And the other side would be a base. Alright, so here's our formula over here. And so what we'll do is say mid-segment, which is what we're looking for. We can use that for a question mark or create a variable. And I'll have one of the bases. Doesn't matter if you top or bottom first, you're just going to add them anyway. Plus the other base. And then we cut it in half and we'll have our mid-segment. Okay, so 8 plus 14 and then divided by 2. And then you'll have your mid-segment. Whoops, I'm not going to erase it just yet. Alright, so on this one, it's the same idea. So we're going to put that 6.6 in and that 19.6 in. And we'll do the exact same math here because we're trying to find the mid-segment. So this is our easiest type. All you do is add the bases up and cut them in half. Now, if you look at this one, we have an empty base. Okay, so this is going to take a little bit of effort on the equation. But now, let me show you a shortcut. This is going to be a tough process. But here's the shortcut, and I hope this makes sense. This mid-segment is going to be halfway, okay, between these two bases. Now let's make sense of this. 14 to 21 is 7. And if that's half, we should know that this half is going to be 7. So all you do is take 14 plus 7, 21 plus 7, and now your base is 28. So instead of working this pretty difficult equation, we'll just do that. So now I'm going to start from the bottom up. So I find my distance, and that's 5. So our next distance is going to be 5. So now we know the top base is 26. So yeah, we can get crazy with this equation and do a long process to solve it. But if you understand this step that it's halfway through, it's pretty simple. Alright, so here's an equation. So how am I going to set this up with my mid-segment at 6x minus 17? So I'm going to put that 6x minus 17, alright, equals to the two bases added together. 13 plus 25, I'm going to go ahead and say it's 38, okay? I just added them. Alright, so I'm going to put my fraction bar in here, and I'm going to put my 2 underneath it. Alright, so what I'm doing here is I'm following this formula. Alright, so to make this pretty easy, all you do is we're going to take 38 divided by 2 and make it 19. Alright, and then just drop this down and set it equal to. So here is your final two-step equation. Alright, then you'll just add this 17 divided by 2. Alright, here, same thing. I'm going to take that 2x minus 1 equals the sum of the two bases, and that's 10 and 8, so hopefully that's pretty easy. And then I put it over 2. I'm just going to grab this one and this one. So now it becomes 18 divided by 2 is going to be 9. Alright, so then you just add 1 divided by 2 and you get 5. So hopefully that's pretty easy. It's just add the two bases, cut in half, and then start solving. This one, however, when the x is on a base, this is your hardest type. So let me slowly walk you through this. There's my mid segment right here. I'm going to go ahead and put my top base in. Trying to go slow for you. Then I'm going to add my other base. And I'll put that part over here over 2. Alright. So we can make this super easy. I know it's tough looking, but I'm going to show you the step to make it easy. This side is divided by 2. This is not only a fraction bar, it's a division bar. If I want to get rid of this 2, and I will always recommend this step first. I will multiply both sides by 2, and now this is gone. And if I multiply this by 2, I have to multiply this side by 2. Now, look at what our equation comes out to be. This really isn't so bad. You guys have all seen equations like this. Alright, so all you're going to do is look over on this side and find like terms. And we have it. And then it becomes a 2-step equation. And there you go. I know it looks difficult, and I said it was difficult, but if you don't multiply 2 to both sides first, you're going to have a lot of trouble. Alright, so just real quick, how can they identify trapezoids? 1, if they show you a picture like this, just 2 parallel lines, you know it's a trapezoid. And that's the same over here. This is a non-isosceles trapezoid. Okay, another way they could show you it's a isosceles trapezoid is if they put markings on each side telling you it's isosceles. And then the final way they could tell you is if they give you one set of base angles that are equal, they could, set it equal to that. And sometimes they're kind enough to show you that these 2 base angles are equal as well. Alright, so that is the trapezoid mid-segment theorem.